Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be showing you how to do a long layers haircut. This is a tutorial for anyone who has ends that are starting to look a little bit crispy. They're starting to feel a little bit dry. Maybe you just are seeing some split ends and you just want to get rid of them. This is not meant to take the place of a professional haircut, so it's always better if you have someone helping you. You are going to get very nice seamless layers. The first thing you want to do is part your hair in the middle, so always good to part your hair right in the middle or whatever parting works for you. Now, from the top of the ear to the top of the head, we are going to start sectioning the hair into 4 quadrants. You want to clip the hair back, the back hair, and then the front part of the hair has to be clipped away as well. I take my time to section this just to make sure that I have the perfect sections, because sometimes we pull the wrong hairs and it could really ruin your haircut. So the front pieces have to be clipped away. Then you want to do the same thing on the other side. That's going to ensure that both sides are even. Everyone has really different densities of hair. So you might have very fine hair in the front, you might have very thick hair like this mannequin. I find this mannequin hair is a little bit unrealistic. It's just a lot of hair. So I have to pull it away from the rest of the hair. Now I'm going to show you what I would normally do if I were to take off some length. Now you want to create a horizontal section separating the top of the head from the bottom of the head. I've already given this mannequin a haircut, a little trim, and I've taken off some length. But if you do need to take off some length, you can go ahead and just cut a clean line with your head tilted forward. We are going to be working mainly with the top layers of the head in this tutorial because it's meant to just give you a refresh. So as you can see, I created one quadrant and I clipped it away, and now on this second quadrant I am clipping away another section. So what we're basically doing is pie sections. We're creating little pizza sections around the head, and then we're going to walk through the head from left to right or from right to left. My preference is always right to left. So you can see here, this is one small pie section, and I like to clip away the part of the hair that is behind the ear. And I'm going to start working with this first pie section right, it's not quite in the middle of the head. I don't like working in the middle of the head because sometimes it can leave holes. Once you start with this section, you want to start combing it. You can work on this haircut on wet or dry hair. I straightened her hair. Now you take your index finger and your middle finger and you want to press the hair between your fingers as much as you can to hold the hair nice and clean so there are no tangles, and you want to hold it at an angle. The higher you lift the hair up and the more your fingers are at an angle, the softer the layers are going to fall. This is basic layers 101. There's nothing really fancy about it. You can go ahead and trim off the excess. You will see the hair that needs to come off. You're gonna be able to see, you're gonna be like, oh, there it is. Those are the split ends. Let's take those off. Keep snipping until you are happy with it, and don't take off too much, and don't take off like horizontal sections. It has to be diagonal. Let it go and you'll see how seamless this section looks. Look at this. You can't see anything. Now we're working with the second section. This mannequin has a lot of hair, so this is a ton of hair to work with. If you have a lot of hair, you want to split that again into a smaller section that is easier for you to work with. So this is pie section number 2. We're working from the right side of the head to the left, and I'm standing behind the mannequin head. So if you have someone to help you, this is so much easier when you have someone who can do this for you. Go ahead and trim that little bit of hair that is sticking out. So we're working with basically just the top layers of the hair. We're not taking off any length. This is pie section number 3, and I've moved my body position. This is really important to make sure that everything comes out really nice and even. So you can see here, I've already taken off a little bit of the mannequin, but whatever is there, go ahead and cut it. I've given myself about an eyeball of about 1/2 inch. So if you're unsure how much to take off, make sure you keep in mind how much of that section you are taking off. So if you think it's about 1 inch, keep in mind it's always going to be 1 inch all around the head. So you can go ahead here and trim off the excess. This is usually where everyone has their split ends. You usually have just like dryness on the end. So see, it's starting to look super, super seamless, and you're not losing any length. So that's the best part. We're coming up behind the ear. Same thing. You want to take a pie section, lift the hair up at an angle, keep your fingers really, really tight, and pressed into the hair. It's the best way to get a clean haircut. And make sure you comb through the hair a lot. Combing through the hair is really, really important, because if you have any tangles or anything, it could really ruin your haircut. We're coming up behind the ear on that first section that we left, and you can see there is a corner that I did not cut. So you can go ahead and cut that off. The reason we lift the hair up too is so that we don't leave any holes in the hair. If you cut the bottom layers and the top layers all at once, you can end up with really big gaps in the haircut. So this gives you the softest, easiest look. Now onto the front sections, or the fringe or the bang. Now I'm assuming you guys have really long hair in the front, and even if you do, you still have to do this technique. We are gonna pull the hair back at a diagonal kind of angle. This is called over-directing. And we're gonna press the hair in between our fingers, and then we're gonna cut at a diagonal angle, kind of like a 45-degree angle all around the head. This is the best way to do this. I'm taking off just a little bit because I don't want to take off too much length, and you can do whatever you want with this. Kind of eyeball it. You can drop the hair back again and kind of see where you're going to be cutting and kind of map it out. The reason I do this is because most of us have really fine hair in the front, and the reason you want to pull the hair back is so that you can get this seamless layer in the front. So this gives you a really nice flow. I'm coming up behind the mannequin. Again, take your index finger and your middle finger, push the hair between your fingers. This mannequin has a lot of hair. Most people don't have this much hair, but if you do, this works for you too. Again, cut that same angle, and I'm taking off about 1/2 inch. So I've kept it in mind that I have about 1/2 inch to take off all around the head. And look at how great that looks. The front is swept, the back is fully seamless. You've got these really nice long layers that you can't even see. So there's no chunkiness going on or anything like that. The hair is refreshed. The split ends are mostly gone. Sometimes you still have a little bit of split ends, but the main ones are gone. That dryness that you feel when your hair grows is gone. Usually the hair on the outside is the one that's most exposed to the elements, is the one that we wash and dry. So it tends to be very, very dry. So here we go. This is the finished result. Long hair without losing any length. Some really nice layers in the front. If you want some more layers, I will do another tutorial on that. Here's a length of the layers. They're not very short, and they're quite long and very soft. Invisible layers. Let's call them invisible layers. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.